Yo, what's up guys, AFC Adino here and welcome to a new video. I had this battle, this recording, this footage still on my laptop drive. I was recording a few battles when I didn't have a new microphone for my laptop, which was at my girlfriend's place. So now I'm just gonna commentate over the few battles I still have. And yeah, this one is definitely an interesting one. I believe this opponent was pretty high ranked. And yeah, just gonna go over it. Hope you guys will like this one as well. And if you're on it, consider subscribing. I'm on my way to 5,000 subscribers. And if you guys are interested in this team, you can check it out on Patreon. There's a Poke plus team building video with all the details of this team. Anyway, team preview. Looking at my opponent's team, he's running a hyper offense team. Most likely, it can be a Rocky Helmet Metagross, which I've been seeing more commonly lately. But other than that, his team is pretty frail. Obviously, Garchomp, Dragonite, Hydreigon are pretty bulky, Scizor as well, but they are most likely meant offensively. So if I consider this, then Volcarona can kind of destroy his team if I can get off a burn against the Garchomp and against the Dragonite. We have to figure out what kind of Garchomp we're facing first. If he's Scarfed, then we gotta be a bit careful, because with a Quiver Dance up, he can still outspeed us and hit us with Stone Edge or something. So definitely keep that one in mind. But Metagross will never really be able to get up the Stealth Rock, because Espeon can bounce them back and Mandibuzz can defunk them away. But if Hydreigon is the Stealth Rocker, that's going to be a bit more difficult. But yeah, for me, lead-wise, I probably lead off with Mandibuzz, just because it matches up really well against his team. Against the Hydreigon, I can U-turn, and against the Metagross, I get a free foul play off. Unless the Metagross is obviously toxic, I don't really see myself dying to him. Because Ice Punch doesn't kill me, and Ice Wind will definitely not kill me. My opponent does end up leading with the Hydreigon, which means he could be rocks. And yeah, he was indeed high ranked, rank 56 if I got side correctly. But I'll be U-turning here, and I really hope he doesn't go for the with his Stealth Rock here. He clicked Nasty Plot on me, which is nasty doing it on me. But yeah, maybe people are not used to seeing U-turn on Mandibuzz, but now I get a free swap. I don't want to go into Hydreigon because he can be a Bomb Berry, so I decided to bring in my Weavile, and he shows leftovers. I can just go for the Icicle Spear, there's no need to predict here, and he does end up going into the Metagross, which is going to take this really well, getting a critical hit, 1, 2, 3 hits, but that's definitely looking defensive, and I can just go into my Mandibuzz. I could have gone Espeon too, but by going into the Mandibuzz, because first of all, if I can go Espeon, but if I go Mandibuzz, I can still debug the rocks away, and he doubles, which I expected, because if he doubles there into Scizor or into Hydreigon, I could have been in an awkward position. He switched into the Scizor, and from here, few things I can do. I decided to foul play here. I could have roosted, but beforehand I cannot know if the Scizor is choice banded, because if he Swords Dance and I roost on it, it's just gonna be really bad for me. But I decided to foul play on this turn, and he brings in a Metagross, which is amazing because now I'll be able to get off a free roost while getting permanent damage on this Metagross. And from here he can definitely not kill me unless he clicks Explosion on me, because Ice Punch is not gonna kill me and Icy Wind is not gonna kill me either, like I said. Does end up going for the rocks, and I'll be able to go for the roost. He did outspeed me, but obviously my Mandibuzz is quite slow, and I assume he's Rocky. He is Rocky Helmet because we just took damage from him, so I can just defog here, and he goes into the Alpha Garchomp, which I'm not certain what he's going to do, but it's definitely good to find out. I mean, if he's choice banded Stone Edge, I don't really want to die to it, but Garchomp is really the gatekeeper to my Volcarona. If I can get rid of this Garchomp, then Volcarona will go insane against him. So I decided to just foul play here, because I still don't die to choice banded Stone Edge unless he crits me. And he does go for Stone Edge. He misses, unfortunately, but I wouldn't have died unless he crit me. And we do 47. Now that he went for the Stone Edge, I decided to just bring in my my own Garchomp, probably. Could go Gastro, that's probably safer. I was considering Garchomp there, because if he isn't Scarfed, then I know Volcarona can take over this game. But on the other hand, he is running Stone Edge, so even if I burn him, he can still do a lot of damage, especially if he's banded, then Volcarona can still die. So I decided to hold on my Garchomp for now. At the time, I wasn't calculating the damage, so I didn't know he was choice banded. I was really lazy at that point. I was just playing just to play. But yeah, that 25% damage on my Gastrodon meant he was choice banded. If I found that out sooner, you can see later, I could have actually won this game easily. But because I didn't calc that damage, it actually haunts me back later on. But yeah, I click Toxic on this Starmie. He click Rapid Spin to get rid of the rocks, and yeah, Starmie won't be able to keep off the rocks off the field, so when he's poisoned, so I can just rocks again, and yeah, Starmie switches out. He's Life Orbed as well, meaning that the damage I do on Starmie will stay there as I get up my rocks. And from here, this was a really interesting position, because I have Ice Beam on Gastro, but because I found out Starmie was actually Life Orbed, keeping Gastrodon in the back would just be a safety net against it. If I go Volcarona, then if I go Volcarona as he clicks Nasty Plot, he can 2-hit KO me with Dragon Pulse. I don't have Bug Buzz. So I was really in an awkward position, and yeah, I might have made a crazy play here. But my thought process by going into the Weavile here is that Dragon Pulse doesn't knock me out on Weavile, and if he Nasty Plots, I just get so much value, and I don't want Gastro to necessarily die. And he just saw Toxic on me, so I don't know if he wants to taunt me here. He could also just Nasty Plot on me as well, so I decided to bring in the Weavile. Hope he doesn't go for the Dragon Pulse, and unfortunately he does Dragon Pulse onto my Weavile, losing 62%. However, from this position, I decided to double into my Volcarona. There's no way he clicks Nasty Plot on me, and I wanted to catch Scissor or Metagross coming on the Icicle Spear, but instead my opponent made an interesting read there and went for another Dragon Pulse. However, from here, he does get the leftovers first, but he doesn't know if I'm Bug Buzz. And if I Quiver Dance up here and Bug Buzz, it's gonna hunt him back. So I decided to Quiver Dance up here. And he goes into the Dragonite, and I was like, oh shit, why didn't he go Garchomp? But I didn't consider Garchomp. I didn't know for certain that Garchomp wasn't a choice banner because I didn't calc the damage. Because you're about to see that I could have won this game right here. I get off my Quiver Dance, I get off the leftovers recovery. His Dragonite didn't get leftovers recovery. However, if he's Lumberry, he cannot 2-hit KO me because I'm faster as well. And obviously, if he isn't Lumberry, I will be able to Will-O-Wisp him again. And if he's Lumberry and he Dragon Dances here at +1, he can still not kill my Volcarona. Well, I still get leftovers. So I was fine as long as I connected my Will-O-Wisp there, which we did. And he Dragon Claws me, doing 30.4%, meaning that this guy was choice banded. And yeah, now I'm in a really good position. I decided to roost here. Because I actually thought the Garchomp was Scarfed. Based on the damage, I didn't calc. But I thought my Gastrodon took it too well. He could have taken it better if he was scarred. But yeah, Dragon Claws here, and because I thought he was scarred, I decided to go for the Fairy Dance over Quiver Dancing again. Because at +2, I still don't knock out the Garchomp. But if I get a Fairy Dance boost, basically if Garchomp comes in, I want to catch him. But if he stays in and I get a special attack boost, which is low risk against this, I can Quiver Dance later and basically kill the Garchomp at +3. Right now I'm only at +1. But obviously if I knew Garchomp was banded, I could have played it differently. But I was afraid of the Garchomp being scarfed. That's why I made this play instead of Quiver Dancing again. So you see my Fairy Dance coming off. And I actually underestimated the Volcarona damage. But I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have killed the Garchomp even at if I went for another Quiver Dance. But yeah, this Garchomp was choice banded because we calc the damage on the Gastrodon. So we could have basically won the game here. We could have literally won the game here and just knock out the guy, but I swap out here thinking he's choice guard, but he was actually choice banded because I'm bringing my Espion thinking he's scarred, right? Look at this earthquake damage. That guy did 70.79% to me, so I could have literally killed him and won the game. And that's why we always skulk when someone does damage for the first time. But I decided to make the safe play here and go into the Mandibugs. And yeah, I still didn't want my opponent to get up rocks here, so I decided to bring back the Espion because I already had rocks up, so he wouldn't lose anything if he tries to attempt the rocks, because if he gets it up against my Volcarona, it's gonna be really nice, being at losing half my HP. So Espion comes in and he does indeed attempt the rocks, and I think I just go for the Baton Pass here because I feel like, okay, Volcarona can win now. I Quiver Dance here, and it's really unlikely that he would click rocks in that situation, and I get the Ice Punch Flame Body on him, meaning that Metagross is now hurt as well, meaning that I don't have to go for the Roost here in case he has Explosion. Wouldn't die to Explosion here anyway, but I Quiver Dance up here as he booms, and he's doing 32%. I wouldn't have died from Explosion, like I said, but I would have probably roosted because one Quiver Dance would have been enough. And I'm at 91% as Starmie comes in, and from here I decided to click Rose. I thought I would take it better, but I didn't expect him to be Hydro Pump. But he Rapid Spins first to get rid of the hazards on my Roost. Don't get the Flame Body, unfortunately, on this. Would have been really nice. And here I think I went for an extra Quiver Dance. Oh, it was actually Surf, but he did 50.4. That's 60.4. So in my head I was like, oh no, Quiver Dance up here. He got one Rapid Spin, I got two Quiver Dances, and so I roosted here, but he was actually faster, but he clicked Psychic on me. If he clicked Surf, he would have killed Volcarona. I would have still been in a decent position because my Weavile was really strong against him, with Metagross being gone. However, he still had the Scissor alive. So I'm really glad he clicked Psychic on me because he could have won the game right there. But like I mentioned before, if I just calculated the damage on his Garchomp Garchomp Stone Edge on my Gastrodon, then we knew he would be choice banded. Then I wouldn't need to switch out, and I could have just 2-hit KO'd the Garchomp while being basically full. But now he's only doing 46. See, he would have killed me with Surf, as I'll be able to Quiver Dance again, and yeah, from here it's basically a win. Because I'm not sure if I Roost here. That's really risky if I do, because he can still crit me, and I get the leftovers, which will put me outside of range of Scizor. Because Dragonite is burned, so I don't really worry about his extreme speed. Do get a special attack raise there. But from here, I still didn't know he was choice banded. I still didn't know the Garchomp was choice banded. That's why I went for the extra Quiver Dance on the Star Army as well. Because I wanted to be at +2. But yeah, on this guy I can just Roost. The reason I did Roost, by the way, is because the Fairy Dance wouldn't knock him out, and if he Dragon Pulsed me, he could have put me in range of Bullet Punch from Scizor, from a choice banded Scizor. So now I decide to Fairy Dance, but he decides to forfeit. So bit of a messy game. But yeah, I was really lazy when I was recording with my new laptop at my girlfriend's place. Like I should have calculated that damage. It's something I teach my students as well, and basically not following my own advice. But yeah, that's the first game. Okay, guys, the next game, facing against this Smurf team. Tyranitar instead of a Breloom on this one. But Tyranitar is really scary to our team. Obviously, I played this game before, but yeah, most of my team can be weak to Tar. So I have to rely on Gastrodon, but if that's an offensive Tar, then he can muscle through my Gastrodon, so I have to be really careful. I will probably start this game off with my Mandibuzz. If my Volcarona can Quiver Dance up against him with Tyranitar dead, it should be really good for me. But obviously, the win condition is going to be getting rid of the Tar. Yeah, my opponent leads up with the Garchomp. Lead up with my Mandibuzz, and I'm gonna go for the foul play here. I don't really care if Tar comes in because it's going to do good damage. He goes straight into his Volcarona, trying to get a Flame Body proc on me. These people. I guess it's a fair play. Getting my Gastro now. I don't have to fear Giga Drain that much, but in case he Quiver Dances, I can utilize it. And yeah, using Toxic if he stays in. I switch out first, so that means he's staying in, and he does go for the Quiver Dance. And I believe he was Leftovers. We saw Leftovers, right? Yeah, we did. So we know we don't die to Giga Drain, and if he doesn't have it, that's even better. So we go for Toxic here. Let's see what he brings in on me. He could be going into the Scizor if he's afraid of Toxic. But if he has a Giga Drain, he might click it here, being at a +1. Just want to see what he does. I don't remember what he necessarily did on this turn. But he hard swaps into the Star Army, and that's really good because now I get a free Stealth Rock against my opponent. The damage goes first, and we don't see Leftovers, so this could be Life Orb, and really good to know. I'm gonna have Rocks on this turn because if he swaps out, he has to come back in on Rocks. At least Starmie is going to take the Rocks damage on his team. And he decides to Side Shock on me. And 47, that has to be Life Orb. Well, I get up my Rocks, and now he can kind of recover spam. If he clicks Rapid Spin, he's gonna take Life Orb Recoil as well. And yeah, if he swaps out here, I can recover, have enough HP to switch him back onto him, and he decides to bring in the Scizor, which is gonna take Rocks damage. Yeah, we just have to figure out if this is Swords Stance or if this is Ekro. I don't want to bring in my Volcarona on this, so I'm gonna use my Mandibuzz. If he Swords Dances, he can still not knock me out. He does Swords Dance here, and I should be able to U-turn because but I'm gonna Roost there. The reason I'm roosting here is because I wanted to figure out if he is acrobatics. Because if he is close, if he cannot kill me from here, and I can always decide to sack something else. But now because he showed the acrobatics, I know I gotta be a bit careful about this guy. But with that acrobatics, with him using the flying gem, he cannot knock me out. So this should basically be a free U-turn for me. I don't want to foul play because it's not gonna kill him. And I can still keep Mandibuzz in the back against him for some Rocky Helmet chip. But on the other hand, I might need my Mandibuzz. So sacking him here might not be good, but yeah, what else do I have to sacrifice, right? In order to win this game, because I need Garchomp as a safety net against the Tyranitar. And I know my Mandibuzz is gonna live the acrobatics because it's not boosted by the flying gem anymore. So this way at least I don't lose him on. He does go for the acrobatics, only doing 50.3, still takes the Rocky Helmet chip. And I get off my U-turn. We still have some HP to play around with, and now I get in my Volcarona. And I don't want to Will-O-Wisp here because he can just stay in against me. I'm just gonna Fairy Dance. I have Tar and I have Mandibuzz in the back to sack if Tar comes in. But he goes into the Garchomp instead. And here I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's an offense to the Garchomp because I'm doing 24.8. So here I'm thinking, can I not just set up on this guy? But then Mandibuzz dies, so I decided to bring an Espeon anyway, because I don't want him getting up rocks. As he just goes for the Earthquake, 48%, and that's not Life Orb, so that's really good for me. And I'm just going for the Wish. I can protect on anything on his team, even if Tar comes in. And I still have Mandibuzz as a sec if I need to sacrifice him, in case my opponent goes Star and clicks Crunch. But he goes into the Star Army. This basically means I get off my Wish. He's gonna take the poison damage, and then I'll be able to click Protect, making him take another poison tick and then take another poison tick if he decides to stay in versus me. But I can make a 9000 IQ play as well and go into my Gastrodon on the Rapid Spin to get up rocks again. He clicks Thunderbolt. Not sure what he was trying to hit there, because Mandibuzz would have died anyway, but maybe he was afraid of me sacking Mandibuzz on the Psychic or something. But because he made that play, I decided to just go for the Wish. I felt like that was my safest play. Just because it was Psyshock. And from here, a few options. I can get a free swap onto something. But if I click Baton Pass, I can heal my Mandibuzz. Because what I can do as well is heal Mandibuzz. And I can sack Espeon now instead, because Mandibuzz actually does way better against Dragonite. It does really well against his Garchomp too. And against his Scizor too, knowing that he has acrobatics, gives me a safer swap. Because from here my Mandibuzz doesn't die to +2 acrobatics. And yeah, like I said, I can sack Espeon here instead. Basically that way I don't have to risk anything. But I was also considering going Weavile here. Just for the fact that Weavile loses to Scizor. Weavile loses to Volcarona. And I can beat Dragonite, but he still has 2 Ice Type resist, and I need to get multiple hits on Tar. And if he does go for Ice Punch or Ice Beam, it would be the best case if I go Weavile here. That way I can keep Espeon to ensure that my opponent doesn't get rocks for free. And I did go for that play. And he misses Edge, which is even better. It's still a lower accuracy move, guys. And do I go into the Garchomp here, knowing that he locked himself into Garchomp? Or do I go into Gastro, because I know... Just go Spear. Okay. He does go into the Volcarona. And I'm doing 16.7, and this tells me, okay, this guy is using a defensive Volcarona. And the reason he probably didn't use Giga's Rain is because he doesn't have it. I guess this is... I've been seeing a bunch of those defensive Volcaronas with hidden power rise. So I'm going into my Gastron knowing that he won't be able to do anything to me, and he actually has Bug Buzz, so it's just a defensive Bug Buzz Volcarona. Without Giga Drain most likely, so I'll be able to just go for the rocks. He won't be able to do anything about it, and now he's gonna come back in on rocks. And look at the decision of healing my Mandibuzz, because now I don't have to risk my Volcarona coming in on this. I can instead go into the Mandibuzz. Don't tell me I go Garchomp. There's no freaking way I go Chomp, right? Just Chomp destroys that team. I'm hovering. I hovered Garchomp, but what? The Tyranitar is still alive, man. I should have used Mandibuzz, but maybe I wanted to keep Mandibuzz for the Dragonite, I guess. But he did go for the Acro, and I just Earthquake now because even if the Dragonite comes in, he comes in on rocks. But still, if anything, let's roll it back here. In this position, going Garchomp is such a bad play on my end. I could have just gone Espeon. It doesn't matter if this guy gets to +6, Volcarona still beats him. I should have just sacked Espeon there. Like, this is such a bad play on my end. I'm coaching myself right here by doing it this way. But yeah, Earthquake, like I said, if Dragonite comes in, it's still fine. He comes in on rocks. I have Mandibuzz still alive. I have a full HP Volcarona, which I can use Will-O-Wisp with, depending on the set, of course. So let's see how our opponent is going to play this one. Taking a while. He's probably just bullet punching me just for some chip, but that's gonna open up the Weavile. But yeah, the Weavile is gonna be extremely good though. He actually crit me on that turn, and that crit is so freaking bad because that crit would have never killed me. I would have killed the Scizor, but now I still have to be dealing with this Scizor. So what I do here is I go into Volcarona. Wait, can I not just win? Oh no, I cannot win the game because he still has Star alive. See how bad it was. Like, obviously he crit me and it was annoying, but I shouldn't have been in that position anyway. I should have just sacked Espeon. But now I will Fairy Dance. If Tyranitar comes in, definitely gonna be annoying. I gotta be really lucky against the Tar. He keeps deciding not to bring in Tar. Maybe because he's afraid of getting Will-O-Wisped. He didn't want to throw away the Scizor either. I Fairy Dance here, knock out the Volk. And now I can actually sack my Gastrodon on anything. Garchomp decides to come in here. And I definitely wanted to keep up Rock, so I go Espeon now. And I have to get really lucky against the... I definitely don't want to getting up rocks. I have to get really lucky against the Tar with my Icicle Spear hits. But if I can get off a burn, it's gonna be nice too. Here I went for the Protect because I didn't want to die to that guy there, but he goes to the Tar. However, I should be able to click Protect again and see what he's going to use. Because for the Stone Edge, I still have my Gastrodon in the back. If he clicks Crunch, I have my Mandibuzz healthy. And he does go for the Crunch, which means I should be able to bring in my Mandibuzz right now. But I Baton Pass here. And the reason I actually Baton Pass here is to figure out if he's Scarfed. Because if he isn't Scarfed, then I know Volcarona can Will-O-Wisp him before... Volcarona can Will-O-Wisp him before he touches me. And... I know he's not... we don't know if he's banded though. If he is banded, then... Stone is obviously gonna hurt, but then if I burn him, I can still win the game with my Weavile. We go into the Mandibuzz. And he does go for the crunch again. Crits me there, which is unfortunate. And I think I go into my gas stroke, trying to catch a Stone Edge, trying to catch an Ice Punch, Ice Beam. Figure it out. And because that damage is not Choice Banded. And he does end up going for Stone Edge. So he's not Choice Banded, he's not Scarf, so it's probably Assault Vest. And yeah, I just go for the Toxic Air. The reason I go for Toxic is if I can poison him, I can poison stall him a bit. But this is what I meant. Me going Garchomp on the Scissor was really bad. But yeah, I decided to bring in my Volcarona now. And we go for the Will-O-Wisp. Because he's not Choice Banded, I am full HP. I should not be dying to... I wasn't sure if I would die to the Stone Edge, to be honest, but I wanted him burned so my Mandibuzz can actually win this game. That was the thought process. Because if I burn the Tar, then Mandibuzz walls him. But yeah, we knock out the Scissor. He doesn't Bullet Punch me, which is great. And I still have Espion alive, which means he won't be able to get up his rocks. Now Garchomp comes in. I'm not sure if I'm going for Gamer. Because I could be going for Gamer as well by Will-O-Wisping this. Yeah, okay. And he went for Flamethrower. Not sure why he wanted to go for Flamethrower. Maybe he wanted to catch the Mandibuzz potentially coming in. But with the burn, because Draco Meteor is not going to kill me. So with the burn, I'm in a really good position right now. I can decide to go for game here. But I can also go Espion. If he then clicks Draco, that's fine. Because then I can heal Mandibuzz and also be really annoying to my opponent. But I can also decide to go for game here. It's still a tough position because he can still use Draco Meteor against me. But I'm just thinking, what can my opponent do to win this game? And the way he can win this game is if he can get up a Dragon Dance. So I decided to bring in Espion. Because I definitely didn't want him to get up rocks. And he did use the Draco Meteor, and now I can go into my Weavile. For the fact that he doesn't have an Ice type resist. So he didn't get up rocks, and now I get in Weavile. And yeah, as long as Dragonite doesn't crit me with extreme speed, even with a crit I'm pretty sure I don't die. We know we're gonna do a lot of damage to his team. If he's Choice Banded, obviously he has to crit me still. Goes into the Tar here. But from here, I decide to just Icicle Spear. It's the position anyway, and I knock him out in 4 hits. Which is really nice. Because otherwise I would have needed to burn him. Which meant that I would have to rely on hitting a Will-O-Wisp. Because it would have still been the same. I have to now Will-O-Wisp him with my Volcarona. I Wisp the Tar with my Volcarona, and then I Roost Spam with my Mandibuzz, but then I have to hope that he doesn't crit me with the Stone Edge. So we were fortunate enough to hit that 4 hits. Not the cleanest of games, but we still managed to pick up the W there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, when I was playing these games, I wasn't really playing focused. I was just playing, testing, and basically killing some time. But yeah, I hope you guys still enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you didn't, then hit that dislike button. Subscribe to the channel. And yeah, check out the team on Patreon, guys. That's gonna be it. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys next time.